All right, so this is a very, very simple, quick, basic overview of merchants of the Middle Ages. So I was kind of curious about this game. I saw there wasn't a video, so I got it recently, and I just kind of read over the rules. So I'm not an experienced player at it, but it's a very large board that you have here. And on the board, there are 6 regions where goods can be delivered. And there are 3 of these little wagons that move goods between the different villages. Inside of each village, you have a storage facility. So if you're the blue player, you store goods here, yellow, green, red. The goods that can be stored in the city are only the 3 goods represented here. There are 6 different goods. As shown on this track on the side, you have these different colors. So the white is salt, the black is iron, I forget what green is, some other good, silk, fabric is red, and brown is like ale or something like that. So what's going to happen is the rounds are going to go through 7 different action phases, and you just do one at a time. You choose a start player at random, I believe, and then you just rotate player turn. So I will try to show you essentially what you're trying to do here. All right, so the main thing you're trying to do is get up this status table, and the player who is the highest up on the status table at the end of the game wins the game. Additionally, the number of rounds you play is based on player order. So what's going to happen is at the beginning of a phase, you are going to do action 1, which is purchasing, buy up to 3 goods. So you have a whole thing of different goods, and you just choose what goods you want to buy. And the cost is based on this chart over here. So at the beginning of the game, all the goods are worth $100. The goods can change in cost by going up, but this is also beneficial to you because when you sell them, they go up in sale price. So if I buy something for $300, potentially I'll be able to sell it for $900. That could change. So going in player order, you're just going to choose 3 goods and you're going to set them up in cities. So if I'm a player, I could, let's say I'm this blue player and I go first. I could choose to just buy 3 brown goods if I want. I would pay $300 because right now they're cost $100, and I just pay it out of my money supply. And I would put these goods in my storage section, and I can put them here because it can hold brown goods. Or I could buy different goods. I could buy 3 goods. I could buy a black, a purple, and a white. And if I wanted to, I could put my black and purple goods in this area, and my white good I could pick any other city that I want and put it in that city. So over here, this takes white goods. I could put a white good there. Whatever. I could split them up all over. I don't have to put them in cities with wagons. I could put them in empty cities like this one here. It doesn't matter. At the beginning, first round, you're going to get to choose buy 6 goods. So let's just say I bought these goods and some other player bought purple. Someone else bought black. All right, so let's say this is how it is on the first turn. I bought 3 brown. This person bought 2 purple. This person bought 2 brown and a black. All right, so we've bought our goods. As it notes here, on the first turn, you do that twice. So you'd have 6 goods. Number 2, you load action. So you auction to become the loading master, and you load these wagons up. So what you're going to do is you're essentially just going to grab your money, and you're going to take a certain amount and you're going to put it in your hand. And when everyone has it, you're going to put your hand out. You'll reveal how much money you are bidding. The highest bidder will remove the money to the bank, and they will get to control the loading of the wagon. So let's say I won that. And if you are the winner, you put your goods in the corresponding color. So here's blue. I could put goods here. Now, if I'm the winner, I could put up to 3 of the same good on this wagon. So maybe I bid a lot of money so that I would be able to load this wagon with 3 of the same goods. And now I could see if anybody else wants to put goods in my wagon. If they do, I could say, all right, I will let you put goods in my wagon, but you have to give me, I don't know, $300. And so if I look over here, like purple goods sell for $600. So if the person is able to sell these goods at that price, he'd get $1,200 for the two goods. He's giving me $300, so he's still getting 3/4 of his profit. So maybe he says, okay, and he gives me that, and he puts these goods on the wagon. And then it comes to this person. You cannot load the same good as the majority player. So had this person won the auction and they chose to load their brown goods on here, I would not have been able to load my brown goods. So this player, if he wants to load onto this wagon, he can only load his black good. You do not have to load the same goods if you are the non-winning player. If the city could hold salt, which it can't, but if it could, I could pay to load these goods onto the cart, and it would just be a cost based on what we determine. But that's an illegal good, so let's just say, I don't know, he pays $100 to put his one black good on there, or whatever. All right, so you've loaded the wagon, and you're going to do that for all the cities. So there's 3 wagons, so you'll do this for all 3 wagons if they are in the cities. Next, you will move the wagon and the courier, which is this little male courier person that's off on the side of the board. You need special cards to be able to move him. So you move the wagon. Okay, so how do you move the wagon? Well, each person has these different number tokens. And so if I'm the first player and these are my numbers, I would play one of these numbers and I'd be able to move the wagon that far. And you move them by these spaces. So the wagon can only go in one direction. It can't turn around and go back. So this wagon, to get to here, is going to have to move at least 3 spaces. And then it's going to either go to the left or to the right. And you're going to take these goods to deliver them to another city. How do you determine which city you want to take them to? That's up to the different people. This city, if you take goods to this city and there are none of the goods on the wagon in the marketplace, you'll get bonus $200 for your goods that you sell here. Whereas if I were to take it over to this city, there's currently no bonus, and so I wouldn't get any bonus for delivering my goods here. I could sell any goods I want to the city. That doesn't matter. So, for example, this city doesn't store brown goods. So maybe I want to take this wagon to this city because goods that can be set up in here are green, red, and white. So if I was trying to deliver my brown goods to this city, nobody could put the same goods in their storage area to stop me from getting the bonus if there happens to be one. However, if my goods were white goods and I went to the city, on somebody's turn, they could purchase white goods and put them into their storage area, which would stop me from being able to get the bonus because there's already white goods located within the city. All right, so anyway, I'm going to move this. So maybe I want it to go to this city. So to get it at least on that path, I would have to go 1, 2, 3, 4 spots. And so I would take my 4 token and I would spend it. And then I could move this wagon 4 spots. And now it would be the next player's turn, and they have the same 4 numbers. And they can move any wagon they want. They can move this one, they can move that one, they can move that one. It's up to them. So this is the green player. The green player has 1 black item on there. Maybe he's fine with the black items going here. So maybe he wants to spend his token moving it, or maybe he wants to spend it moving another one. But the thing is, you only have these 4 movement tokens, and you have to use all of them before you can turn them back over to use them again. So because I moved this cart 4 spaces, all right, I'm not going to be able to use my 4 again until I use my other 3 numbers on any carts on the board. It could be this one, it could be that one, it could be that one. That doesn't matter. So there's this struggle between people on where to send the wagon. And again, you can't turn around. So if somebody chose to send this wagon, like let's say the green player used his 1 movement token and he sent the wagon on this path, that would be sending this wagon to a city that potentially could hold brown goods, and maybe they would want to put brown goods in the storage area to stop me from making as much profit. Wagons could never be on the same spot at the same time. If this wagon wasn't here and this wagon was going to go into the city and it's 1, 2, 3 spots away, and all you had left was a 4 tile, you would just lose your 4th movement action and you can move it 3 into the city. All right, so that's moving. Next, you got price adjustment with the wheel and warehouse sales. So here's the goods market. What you're going to do is each player has one of these wheels with 2 arrows on it, and you're going to choose what items you want to have adjusted. If you have both of your arrows pointing at the shield, you'll have no adjustment for the goods. So if I went like green and black, then the green would go up 1 and black would go up 1. If I had it at green and shield, then only the green would go up 1. And so I would reveal this, and so let's say I did that, and so the green good goes up 1 step. But all the other players playing are doing this also. Somebody else could have had both their arrows on the green, and then the green would go up 2 more. And this player could have had, like black and purple, and then black and purple would go up on the market. And what that is doing is it's raising the cost to buy the good, but it's also raising how much money you're going to get. So when this wagon gets to this city, it's going to sell the goods at this cost. So you want to be able to get a lot of money for them. The thing is, if for some reason this good was here, let's say, and then it was time to adjust the prices, somebody else could put their arrow on 2 brown, and what would happen is it would go 1, and then it would go all the way back to the bottom and reset. So there, instead of me getting 900, it got reset to 600. So you can kind of adjust the market to kind of mess over other people. So you do that. If you have any items in your warehouses, you could sell some of them at current market value if you want to do that. Let's see, selling, adjust the bonus track. So that's just determining if goods are sold, in the city, you're going to reset it. So this just moves up and down. There's different reasons for why you get bonuses. That's just what you do in Action 5. Action 6, then you hold an auction. There's investment cards. There's a bunch of cards over here. These red ones are the investment cards. There's always 4 out. The first player can... you do a round robin auction. You just keep going around and around till everyone else drops out. And then if you're the winner, you would win, the card that you were auctioning for. And they have different stars on them, kind of indicating how valuable they are. More stars, more valuable. And so let's say somebody won and they took this card and somebody else took this one. And then the third player doesn't get to win anything. What will happen is then the market will have new cards come out for the next round when you have an auction on the next round. And then these cards just give you special bonus abilities that you can use throughout the game. 7, social status, upkeep, and social club. So as the wagons get into the cities, this is going to go up. This little gray thing on this chart is going to go up. And depending on how many players in the game you have, depends on how far up this will go. This is going to determine the value you have to pay to buy influence. So right now at the beginning of the game, it is $700 to move up 1 level on the status chart. If a wagon gets delivered somewhere, this will move up and it's going to cost you $800 to move up. You can only pay twice around. So at the beginning of the game, if it got to this phase, I could pay $1,400, and I could go up 2 levels if I want. On the next round, if this was at 1,000, because carts, let's say 3 carts were entered cities, I would have to pay $2,000 to go up 2 rounds. These numbers are the cost to maintain your status. So not only are you bidding to go up on the status level, but if you don't want to start falling back down, you have to pay this cost here. If you can't pay the cost, you keep falling until it gets to a level you can pay or are willing to pay. Otherwise, you drop down to the bottom. That's the last action. Then you just kind of start over, go over and over. As I said, there's a certain number of rounds. These go up, highest person wins. There's other things you can do. You can take letters of credit to get loans. If the courier and the wagon ever reach the same spot, you randomly get a card and it lets you do something special. So like this one, what's it say? Sale with bonus. You receive the bonus for every good sold in a city, even if the goods are produced in the city. All right, so like that. So you just get these different bonuses that you can use. That's kind of the game. So it's a lot of auction. It's a lot of trying to control the wagons to get them to cities you want them to get to try and get money for your goods. And it's pretty much kind of how it plays, roughly.